Cancer, hello, Amanda here. Welcome to Unseen Hands Healing. This is going to be your August shift reading. So we are looking at the shape you are shifting out of this month, the shape you're shifting into, and what that shape shift looks and feels like. So Cancer, before I get into your cards, using the Next World Tarot, the image that's coming to me for you as I'm sitting with your energy is interesting. I saw a carefully threaded needle going through a buttonhole, like very specific energy, very specific imagery. And so it's speaking to me a bit of like a narrow passage to pass through, like something very narrow and specific and pointed focus that you need to pass through something. And it brought up that Bible verse, something, I think it's in Matthew. It's like, it's easier for a camel to pass through the eye of the needle than for a rich man to enter heaven. And then the disciples are like, well, then how can anybody enter the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus says, well, it's impossible for man, but with God, all things are possible. That's the whole chunk of verse there. So there's something here about like a very narrow passage that perhaps seems impossible for you to pass through, but it is indeed possible, you know, like with the help of the larger forces at work here beyond you, forces that are greater than you. So, okay, interesting energy we're starting off with. Let's go to your cards and see if we can illuminate a little further. So we're first asking, what is the shape that Cancer is shifting out of in the month of August? What is this shape shift for Cancer as they enter Leo season? Okay. Shifting out of the Tower energy, in this deck, it is called Revolution. And in this, you know, there's this really strong energy of protest here. There's this energy of a large force kind of mining the earth, right? We're seeing oil drilling in the background here and creating these fires, and then people here demanding that the sacred be protected. Okay, so there's this energy of revolution, of protest, which seems incredibly topical with everything going on, at least in the United States right now. Okay, so interesting. Let's keep going and see where this takes us. What is the shape Cancer is shifting into in the month of August? All right, Queen of Pentacles, the home of sanctuary. So already there's something about sanctity, sanctuary, sacred, all of these kinds of words are coming through so far. Let's take a look. From revolution to sanctuary, right? The revolution is demanding that we defend what is sacred, protect what is sacred. And here we see someone in that sacred space, in that energy of sanctuary, demanding essentially protection and safety. And then here we are in that capsule. It almost looks like this person's in a capsule of safety. This is so interesting, Cancer. Okay. You know what else? It's like there's an energy I'm seeing of being outside in the elements where there's like havoc all around. And then this is more of an interior space, which makes sense because queens can talk about internal energy, you know, like more personal, internal, emotional processes. And so there's like this external revolution happening in what feels like danger, you know, like a more dangerous external environment, which makes sense for so many things happening in our world, from the pandemic to the protests erupting all over the United States, but all over the globe, really. So depending on Cancer, where you live, you may be in a more like currently dangerous environment. And then there's a shift into the interior here. This person is like inside some sort of interior environment where it's much more safe, where there is a sense of sanctuary. Okay, that's really interesting. Let's get more cards here to see what this shapeshift looks and feels like for Cancer in the month of August. It feels very apocalyptic, honestly. Okay, 2 cards just came out, and here's the 3rd. Wow. Oh my gosh, this is gorgeous. So we have this sense of danger in the external environment, a sense of safety in the internal environment, and then we have all of these cards. This is so interesting, that are signaling, this is your energy, Cancer, because there's so much water with these cups, and then Leo energy right in the middle as we transition into Leo season with the sun energy here. So we have the 3 of Cups, and the card says joy. Here you are underwater, surrounded by the support of those you love. See, this person is sitting very contentedly with open hands, just like sitting in contentment and joy, which is really interesting. And then we have the Queen of Cups, and it says the throne of emotion. And we see this like very beautifully expressive, flamboyant figure that is, it seems like taking that emotional energy and turning it into some fun. There's like a lot of really fun energy in this card. And then we have the sun right in the middle, which is this child like looking towards illumination, looking towards joy, looking towards happiness. It's like the faith of a child. Interesting that all this like biblical imagery is coming to me. I mean, I have I grew up in a very Christian background, but that kind of imagery doesn't always come to me in readings. So maybe that's something specific for some of you out there. So here's kind of what I'm getting from this. It's like there's so much chaos happening out in the world right now with this revolution energy. But there's all of this internal space that you're being guided into, Cancer, to like find, I think, your inner sanctuary, you know, or like create sanctuary for yourself within the revolution that is currently taking place in our world. Because again, cups also speaks to the emotional, intuitive, internal environment. And so there's something here with all of the 3 of Cups, the Queen of Cups, and the sun right in the middle, that it's like you can find faith and hope and joy and that sense of just like basking in the sun and a warm sunny day, and like the flamboyance of Leo season's draw into self-expression, you know, like this is such Leo energy coming through here with like, yeah, I'm gonna express myself and be loud about it and just like feel really free in that expression. There's something here that like there is safety and sanctuary and contentment and joy to be found in your inner emotional landscape when you feel like in the sanctuary of your own space, you can like completely express yourself and express your emotions and express your personality in ways that are like very fun focused. You know, because there's a real seriousness and a real gravity in the external environment. And I think in order to In order to preserve your well-being, Cancer, lean into that Leo energy of having a little bit of fun, I think, in the month of August, even with everything going on in the external environment. Find the sanctuary where you can retreat and touch base with yourself, touch base with the loved ones around you. Three of Cups is a card of like finding joy in community, you know? So like find the people you feel safe with, where you can let your hair down, you can let loose a little bit and just like enjoy that inner landscape. Yeah, there's a lot of hope in Leo season, I think, for you, Cancer, with this Sun card and this child like pointing up to the beacon in the sky that is the sun, like this energy that warms us, that brings light into our lives. And I think I might be speaking to a Cancer who really needs some light in their life, who really needs to bask in that warmth. It's interesting too, because these Cups energies, even though they're outside and they're in the ocean, they have a very internal energy for me. It's like because the ocean surrounding you can be this sense of an internal space, an internal emotional space. This feels like that internal environment, the sanctuary that many Cancers can find in retreating into their emotional, intuitive connection with themselves, because so many Cancers have that very strongly. And then these feel like external, more of the external environment energy that I was feeling, but they're incredibly different, right? Here's an external environment that's absolutely on fire with essentially the structures that have existed coming crumbling down. And here we have an external environment that is showing flowers blooming through the cracks in the sidewalk. You know, it's showing a child enjoying the warmth of a summer day. It's Leo season, the height of the sunflowers blooming and like finding the joy in the external environment as well. So it's just really hammering home this idea that if you can find an inner sanctuary, whether that is like literally inside your internal environment or whether it is more about your emotional environment, finding a sense of fun and joy and sanctuary will allow you to re-enter your external environment despite the tower that is crumbling around us, like the world that we have known crumbling around us, to find the warmth and the joy and the happiness that's present even within that. And really that's faith, right? That's finding that faith that even though it looks like there's no way this camel can pass through the eye of the needle, you know, nothing is impossible. It's that energy. Cancer, what a message. This is fascinating. So I'm going to pull some more cards now and see if we can get more specifics out of these cards and see if we can really start to hash out what this is about for you in August. If you'd like to view the extended reading, which gets into deeper clarity, you can click the link in the description box below and that will take you over to Patreon. Patreon is an online community that I've created for folks who are enjoying my work and want to go deeper. So head over there if that sounds interesting to you. You can read the description so you know how a Patreon patronage works, and then I will send you the extended reading for August. All right, Cancer, happy birthday, late birthday to those of you who have had birthdays recently, and I hope that your transition into Leo season is one of sanctuary and joy and flamboyance. All right, my friends, take care. I'll talk to you soon. So what I'm getting from this is that retreating into your inner sanctuary with your close-knit group of people, your inner circle, in order to recharge you, is going to give you what you need to like ride back out, or maybe more accurately for y'all, march back out. Okay, this energy of protest. March back out into the world feeling victorious rather than feeling a sense of blockage or overwhelm or defeat.